Hello and welcome back to Amazing Allotment. Here's what's to come on today's episode. We'll be planting out some gladioli bulbs. And it's also time to plant out our first lot of cabbages. Let me introduce you to this little tulip. It has a posh name, it's called Lady Jane, and it's an early variety that always pops up early in my garden in spring. And as you can see, it's a dainty little thing, but a very pretty flower, and always a joy to see at this time of year. And at night, or even on a rainy day, the flower heads will close up and look like this. Little man is on a serious mission to water some seedlings. As you can see, he's rocked up to the allotment in his pyjamas. It's still a bit wet and I'm really trying not to compact the soil too much. But from here, across here, this will all be flowers. I've got some herbs, some coriander growing in between, but that's fine because once that's been harvested, we'll get more flowers in. So this bed here is where I'll start planting my gladioli. And then, because they'll get quite tall, so it doesn't matter if they block the light or anything like that from some of the veg that end up growing on this side, because I'll grow things like brassicas, which hopefully it shouldn't be a problem because the sun doesn't come this way, so that'll be fine. So yep, gladioli down here, and then that's the start of where all the flowers will go up until here. And I've noticed a lot of there's flowers across here, and then I've noticed loads of sort of strawberry plants that are here tucked right in front of the shed. And I think they were deliberately planted by the previous owner because he had lots of gladioli down here, and dahlias. He had lots of dahlias planted across here, and the strawberries were sort of sheltered from the birds. So because there's a huge strawberry bed at the top of the plot, so I think he didn't mind losing some of those to the birds. But these, I suppose it makes sense really, because a lot of what we do tend to find is we tend to grow a lot in rows in England, whereas if you look at allotment or gardening in like places like France where they interplant all their veg with flowers, it tends to work. Whereas if you had a bird's eye view of your plot and you're planting in rows, well, it looks a bit like a supermarket to some of those hungry pigeons. So that's why we cover our veg. But sometimes it's nice to sort of interplant, and almost with some taller flowers that might disguise some of the veg and the birds don't notice it, especially if the flowers are very colourful. The birds sometimes don't tend to notice what's planted near it. So yeah, so what I might do actually, because I have picked some more strawberry plants from my other plot, some of my Cambridge favourites, so I will plant them across here as well, just to see how they turn out, and if it doesn't work then we'll remove them next year. But this whole area really is just going to be flowers, hopefully. So yeah, let's get the gladioli bulbs in. Break in this rain, I'll hopefully get my cabbages in, but at the moment it's just too wet. These are the rescued tulips, rescued from the squirrel, and the pots were left in the greenhouse, and they've all come up. They've all started to flower because it's been nice and warm in the greenhouse. It's brilliant. Better give them a nice water.
That's right. And we're like going against each other. And we're trying to see who can build the better thing. Should we do that? I know where I want my area to start. Can I show you? My area, I want to start from here. From here. How about that?
All right.
Deal? But I don't want to fish.
And look at the ants all in my wheelbarrow. We finally had a break in the weather and it stopped raining, so I've decided to rush over to the plot and try and get my cabbages in today. I've prepared the ground, not too much because with cabbages they do like a bit of a firm ground, and then what I've done is just basically weeded the area, so we've got rid of all the weeds, and now what I'm going to do is get my cabbages in and then we're going to net them. So I'll show you what I've got in order to do that. So what we've got here is my little cabbages that need to go in. I've got some green in the greenhouse as well, some round cabbages. These are red, and then I'll get some more in. And then I've also got some clips that I'm going to need for the to cover the hoops, and also these pegs to sort of peg the netting down to the ground, and also a dibber and a trowel just to make space for the cabbages. So this is what I pretty much need, and the hoops are in place, and now I'll get my cabbages in. The reason why I like getting my cabbages in early, if it fails, it fails. I've got more that I can replace them with, but I do like it because sometimes if I can get them in now, within 5 months I can harvest them. So sometimes it's nice to give them a bit longer in order to get a nice good harvest and a nice sized cabbage. So yeah, let's get the cabbages in before it starts raining again. Right, it's time to get this first cabbage in the ground. So as you can see guys, the cabbages are ready to be planted in their little spaces. And they're about 45 centimeters apart, because these cabbages should get quite big. So these cabbages are all in, and they're planted nice and firmly in the ground. Now it's just about to rain, so I'm just going to get the cover on. Just going to get rid of these two scaffolding planks because we don't want any slugs and snails hiding underneath there, and then I'm just going to wood chip around it so I've got a path to walk across when I need to mulch or weed the beds. Can't wait for these to grow now. Gotta keep an eye on them. If there's any issues, I'll replace them, but let's just see how it goes. It does feel so good to finally have something in the ground this year. The sun's come out and the robin's singing. And it's nice to be on the plot. And I'm really impressed as well with my coriander. It's all coming along nicely. Should get a harvest real soon from these because they grow quite quickly. Just look at all this coriander, and it's all growing nicely in its little round bunches. When I ran out, I put in some spring onions, and they're also coming up as well, so that's great. Some more tulips growing on my plot. These look lovely. just coming along nicely. And then there's some of these as well, and they look a bit frilly as well. Can't wait to see these when they all come up, but yeah, the colour on these are lovely. So far in my greenhouse, lettuce is looking great. This could probably be planted out now. And also these are my little chili peppers. And these chili peppers have just literally germinated in this unheated greenhouse. They've had no heat whatsoever and they've all come up. So that's great. Carrots are also looking great. Sweet peas are also coming along nicely. And here are my tomatoes, or the beefsteaks, and I think there's one variety of cherry. And then we've got the 2 sowings of beetroot, which I'm going to get out very soon and sow some more. So before I head back home, just want to top up the bird feeder. It feels so lovely to finally have got something planted in the ground this year. And also it's nice because now I can plan ahead. This weekend I've got some radishes to go in. So if I avoid the wet weather, I can get the radishes in. And also I want to direct sow some carrots as well in the ground. So I really need to work on the ground really and get it nice and prepared for the carrots.